The challenge with big data and why we use the word big data is that it's multiple set of database that actually are too complex and too large to be processed and to be analyzed with traditional methodology of data mining. So this is really where you have to go with different tools, and that's where we define it as being big data specifically. So it's not just having a lot of data to process. If you have a lot of data and you have the tools to process those data, it just will be longer and you need more computing power. You don't need big data for that. So big data is about, the complexity of the data, the fact that data is not uniformized, it's not structured, and you don't have tools to be able to process it. The challenge is that we are right now in a phase in which everyone pitching in with some big data project, and that's okay. I think every company should have their research and development budget and took a part of that research and development budget and experiment on new technology and new ways of doing business, improving business process, seeing how big data can improve different part of their company. But what we're going to see really quickly is that big data is expensive. At some point, there's a return on investment, but there's also another word that people don't use, which is non-acquisition cost, NAC. What's going to happen if I don't get in, big data? And one thing that could happen is you can really lose a lot of competitive edge, So it puts some company in position in which they don't have the money to afford it, and they actually had to jump in the bandwagon. They have to address the big data challenge for their company to be competitive with their industry. So we're going to see in phase 2 probably more in 2017 or 2020, people starting to group together, to create a big data infrastructure that they will all be able to share and have their own intelligence, data coming in for their needs. But from the foundation perspective itself, they don't have to have triple this. If there are 3 companies, for example, they don't all need the big data foundation. They just need the adaptation of it to generate the intelligence. So we could see, for example, smart cities, starting to think about having a big data intelligence center rather than having 3 actors developing their own big data program, in the mindset that they all want to be competitive city at the end of the day on the marketplace,
And so what you're saying really is that organizations and businesses need to start thinking about that now. Exactly. To make sure, when we get there, they're ready.
Exactly, and think about collaboration, it's like kind of a not competition, but cooperation. Even if they are competitors at some level, they have to cooperate together, because this will be big data at some point could reach a stage in which it's as important as an infrastructure for a city as the airport or the highway. You need to have that in 2015, 2020 in the information age that we are. This is not a fringe, science. This is not something far in the future. This is real, and this is now.